The Paranormal Ecto News Flash with Cody from the Southwest Ghost Hunters Association. Now.
I'm Cody Polston, and this is your Ecto News Flash. So the new Ghostbusters movie will be in theaters soon, and this got me thinking about the original film and a parapsychologist that was around at that time. His name is Lloyd Auerbach, and after the first Ghostbusters movie came out, he was prominently featured in the media as the real Ghostbuster. I had the opportunity to sit down with Lloyd and ask him questions about the paranormal.
Well, you've done a lot of television and stuff, and that's one of the questions I did have. What do you think about a lot of these producers that, you know, the shows? I mean, I've heard, you know, stuff back and forth that, you know, well, we'll shoot, 30 hours, and it's all what they put out now. And,
right.
I know you've worked with a lot of them. What's your opinion on it?
Well, first of all, I mean, my father was a TV producer, although he was in sports, but he was in news before that. My uncle was a director, television director. One of my brothers works for NBC right now, and I've been around television since apparently since before I was born. So I know the inside of the industry. I've dealt with producers over the years. Many producers over the years have consulted with some shows that were not that never ended up on the air. The reality is that when you bring in novices like, Jason Grant or the guys from Paranormal State, producers can, I won't say they take advantage of the novices, but they're signed to often contracts that don't let them talk about what actually goes on, that restricts them from talking about shows. I'm not saying that they're not doing their best to screw things up too, but production folks are out to make entertainment shows. I mean, Sci-Fi used to be, instead of being SYFY, it was a science fiction channel. Mm-hmm. And we have to remember that these are entertainment shows. Whatever you call reality shows are not true reality. That's been shown in so many ways.
All right.
When they shoot Survivor, there's a camera crew in every single one of the folks in that location. And I know, having talked to Mark Burnett, that they'll show a cut of the episode to the network execs or whoever has to approve it. And that one of the execs could say, I want more of this guy over here and less of this person you put in the thing. But they've shot so much footage that they can go right back and cut it immediately.
Right.
So when you're talking about any show, you shoot for, especially when you're trying to cover something that may or may not be happening, you may shoot for hours and hours on end, and you edit it down to 22 minutes. And unless the individuals doing the investigation are in the edit room and are capable of, given permission to actually say, don't do that, or do this instead, it's all up to the editor, the director, and the producer. So a lot of people blame, I can't say that they're without blame. Anybody who has their own show, it has some share of the blame. But the reality is that it's the production people themselves who have the blame for most of what goes on TV. Anything we see that gets screwed up.
You will believe that we're not alone.